Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today is March 29th, 2020, one day after the storm that I had a video recorded on yesterday. You're going to see some clips from my storm chasing. It's just some of the videos of my dash cam and some pictures and some of the radar of the storm. Right now is us driving on the back roads in Missouri and Iowa. It's probably raining. Yeah, it's raining. And those roads were really bad. I'll tell you that now. We didn't get anything severe. We went through a lot of heavy rain. We got a little bit of one lightning or two, and some thunder. But there wasn't anything there was no tornado or anything. Yeah, we were just driving around most of the time. And this is probably in Iowa still, I think. But the majority of our morning one was in Missouri, and we kind of went between. And later on in the same spot, there was some tornadoes and stuff, like hail and all that. There was a lot more later on. We just went to get this early, but I do have later in the day, later on. So yeah, we'll be able to see that. But this is at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Probably. It's in 2x speed, so we're not like going 100 miles per hour, don't worry. Yeah, that's just driving around the countryside. Most of the day, we had a lot of rain. Where I live actually had no rain itself. It just looked like it was going to. Actually, we had a tiny bit of rain. But this is more near where all the extreme weather happened later on in the day. It was just all in all a pretty good day. I saw some other storm chasers. Well, I didn't see them, but I heard that other storm chasers were out and around up in northern Iowa and over right on the border of Iowa and Illinois. Storm chasing, and there was some tornadoes. And down in Arkansas, there were a lot of extreme tornadoes. There were some long track dangerous ones too. It wasn't very fun for some of those people down there, but storm chasers, that's what they dream of. Yeah, this is one of those winding roads. It was bumpy and just crazy. And right now it's raining fairly hard. It was just all in all about the same all day. It was fairly constant when we were driving. Later on there was no rain, but we got some cool pictures of developing clouds, which later turned into tornadoes. I'll talk about that more whenever we get there. Yeah, right now this would be driving probably through what town is it? I can't remember, but yeah, you could tell by the windshield wipers that it was pretty rainy. Most of these storms, this one I think was a product of the bigger one that was earlier. Oh, here, yeah. I think we were in Farmington and Bonaparte, and that's in Iowa, and that's where we were driving. We were driving from the south and coming up to get it. There was standing water on these roads, so it was pretty nasty. As you can see, there's a cloud line in the background, which I think that was where it was more severe later, or earlier in the day. That was probably over in Illinois, about midway through Illinois. This was fairly heavy. I mean, at some points it was hard to even see out the window. This is where that lightning struck at. It was around this hill, I remember that. It'll be soon, you'll see it. It'll flash up and around in the left-hand corner. And if you're wondering why the numbers are upside down, it's just because of the how my camera had to work. Here's lightning about right now. You'll see it. Are we gonna see? Oh. I don't know what's happening. Okay, but back to the numbers and the stuff in the top left-hand corner. Why it's all like that is because of how I had to record it on my tripod thing. The thing that it hung from the window, I have a picture on later, and it was attached to the window, and it's upside down. because it's one of those phone things to hold for GPS, but we use it the other way, flipped it upside down, put my GoPro on there so you can see out. So I'm just using it a different way. I'll show you the picture later on. Yeah, it was odd, but it worked because it was upside down. But whatever, it worked, so I'm not going to complain about it. It's really windy outside right now, like actually in real life, as I'm about 1:44 p.m. This is when we got back to the better roads, but I think we're going to have to go back on the bad roads soon enough on this video. Yeah, it was a fun day. It was one of my first ever actual storm chases, though. I don't think I've done very much real storm chasing before. This was one of the main first ones. Soon it'll clip to later on in the day when that new front came in, when that low pressure started coming in, and you could feel the warmth coming in. It was like 79 and really humid. I'll tell you when that happens. You'll see it. The whole sky will turn just blue and it'll clip. But that's when it started getting really warm, and I knew that later on there were going to be some really heavy developing storms because of the Cape and the humidity, you could tell, and the moisture in the air. All my runnings on everything. I was looking at some of my water vapor maps, and there was a lot of water vapor in the air. Like, you could just tell it was just full. The whole sky was just full of liquid. You could tell. It was really humid too. Yeah, here's when it starts pouring. It was just pouring down rain. This might be the lightning, actually. It was on one of these hills. I remember one hill and one turn. There you go. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's hard to see out the window now. It just started pouring. It went from like 0 to pouring down rain in about a matter of minutes. Did you see that splash? Yeah, it was, like I said, the standing water was just crazy. There was the lightning right there, and that you could see the frame flash. That's how you know there was lightning, and you could see those clouds that were low hanging. It was pretty nasty though for a while there. But this is in like Farmington, Iowa, a little bit north of that, a little bit northwest of that. Wow, that one sprayed and covered the whole entire window. This is just farmland, you can just tell, just looking around. You can tell it's Iowa and Illinois and Missouri. Yeah, it was a fun chase though, just driving around. It was nice. It was cool early in the morning, but then it got a lot warmer. It's pretty nasty though. These roads were really bad. It was not fun to go on these roads at all. It was just too bumpy, too wet. It was pretty slick too. Yeah, Iowa roads are much better than this. I remember going on that spot and it was pouring. It's pouring like crazy on this. It was a good experience though. My first storm chase of the season. I know there'll be a lot more storms this year. This is the first month usually when it starts, and I've already had 2. So we could be in it for a long season, hopefully for me, but hopefully not for everybody else. But you know, yeah, bumpy. Should clip over to the next clip soon. There you go. Okay, this is a picture of it. Just out. That's the clouds. It's crazy. You can see all the rain below there. It's pretty heavy rain though. You can see it though. Here's where you can see those clouds rolling in. That's the low pressure system coming in. The humidity, it was 79 and it probably felt like 80. It was crazy. Or sorry, 85. And it was just super moist. You could feel the air was thick. It was like you could feel the moisture in the air. You could for sure feel it. It felt like there was water in the air. It was really moist. But obviously we figured out what happened with that. Turned out later it got a lot more. Yeah, just time lapse. This was probably about About this time exactly, 1:49 yesterday. So, I mean, it's funny. I'm doing it right there about the same time. It was pretty nice out, though. It was really windy, though. It was just like came. It was just, at this point, I don't think it was that windy yet. But about 20 minutes later, it got gusty. It was probably 30, 40 mile per hour winds. You'll see it later on when we get to the next few clips. It was just a fun day, though. There's a picture. I like that picture, though. It's nice. You got all the altostratus and the altocumulus clouds. It was nice. That's how you could tell the rain was coming. Okay, this is when we started later on. As you can see off in the distance, right along the horizon in front of us, that's that storm developing over there. That's what we were trying to go get. Those high-level clouds are moving fast. You can tell this is 2 times speed only, and they're still just flying, just completely flying. It was really windy. Like, you can tell by the car, it just keeps going off the road just barely to the right because of that wind. Really gusty out. At this point, it was probably 3 o'clock, 3:20 maybe, and the wind was probably 30 gusts, 30 miles per hour, 20 constant, 40 gust, and it probably was 80 degrees outside, and with humidity it was probably more like 87. It was really warm, except for the wind, obviously. The wind made it cool down. But this is about right when the storms started popping up in Osceola, almost where that one big storm started popping up that came late tornadoes later, and we're following the one, and they pop up in front of us that are the ones that made tornadoes around Ames later on, and they were pretty nasty. We saw them, and then there's one video right about the end, one of the last few videos. You can see the top of the cloud swirling. That's how you know that one was the one that caused some tornadoes, because the rotation in it, just you could tell, even when it wasn't raining, even under it, it was just crazy, the rotation. It was just twisting and turning like crazy. And they looked like cauliflower. They were big, huge, puffy. It was pretty crazy looking. Good time lapse. Semi-time lapses were hard to do because of the wind. So my camera, there's one video of my camera falling down. I put that in because I just wanted to show you how much wind there was. The grasses were pretty green though, just because of all the rain and the warmth. Just the grass turned green like that. It wasn't very good before. It was all brown like this, grass up here. Yeah, from now on I'm going to use a dash cam though like this and keep it there and just set it there. See, if you look off to the right, there's just one big storm cloud. You can probably tell it's right by that antenna. That's one I was watching. That might have been the one that got severe later, but as we go on, there's bigger clouds that appear right in front of us. Those are the ones that we had watched the whole time and then got severe, and we were like, wow, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Just a bright, nice, wide open. This is some good spots to get pictures, though. This is what it looks like whenever I get pictures later on, when it gets nice and clear. There's this big line of cumulus clouds, cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds that just were forming huge, multiple miles long. That's what line those severe storms were on later on. It's just the same one system all day. They were just appearing on that line. If you look at the satellite from that point, about 350, there was a line of them, about 50 miles long. It was crazy. It was just insane how many there were. That doesn't happen very often, especially with all that. Especially this early in the season. This is really early in the season for this kind of storms. Usually storms don't hit this early in the season. In the next 4 to 8 days, it doesn't look like there's anything up here. I mean, it doesn't look like anything in the next 8 days at all. Something could just appear. I mean, I'll keep checking the cast for it, and then if there is anything, I'll put a video up. But I don't see anything in the next 8 days for sure. But it's hard to guess by now what right now, 8 days out, what's going to happen. But as it stands right now, probably not until second week of April, until another storm at least. But we'll see. We'll see. It could be earlier, could be later. We don't know. But when there is, I'll make a video for it. We're about to get ramped up in the storm season, so for sure I'll be having a lot more videos soon. I'm just going to be quiet so we can watch a little bit. This is over Lake Rathbun, and you can see the wind shaking it. This is time lapse, obviously. It's just crazy. The wind was just too much, really, way too much. Clouds are just twisting and twirling. This says 309. I don't think that's probably about right, actually. But I can tell the date's wrong, obviously, so I don't know. Yeah, that's my picture. This is looking west, northwest. Okay, here we go. This is afterwards. I'm gonna mute again just so you can watch in silence, but most of it, yet again, those just high level clouds moving fast along with the rest of the storm. It's 2 times speed and they're still moving like fast. It's crazy. It keeps lagging. Yeah, it's still on, don't worry. If it would load, it would get to the next part. The swirling clouds. Just when I noticed on my radar there were some thunderstorms developing to the west over Sheraton. And then we started going that direction. Not sure why it's not working. Well, not sure what's going on. Okay. So this next thing I'm about to show you is the, hold on. Larger swirling clouds that I said were developing. And they just started developing to the west over Sheraton, like I said. So I'm about to show you is the twirling cloud one, and it has the clouds in the air just are spinning, like I said, and these are the ones that are probably the culprit for that tornado up in Ames. Which I'm not sure what it was. I'm not positive what it said, if it was F1, 2, 3, whatever. Probably wasn't an F3. It probably was an F1, F0, something like that. Not many are F3s up, obviously. This should be the video. That's the twirling cloud one. see it change in a few seconds. Maybe. Please. Well, it never came in, so apparently it doesn't want us to see it, so if it doesn't work this time, then I guess I'll see you guys next time. This is going to be a picture. It'll load in about a few seconds. There's nothing working for me. And here comes one. I'm going to show you the severe outlook for the next few days. Okay, here we are. We're going to look at the day outlook for the next few days. Okay. Okay, this is today. So there's a slight, but this one developing over to the west. Wait, hold on. With that developing over to the west, maybe we'll get something in the next few days. Because if that something's developing over here, let's see what it says. Okay, so it must be going south. That's for tomorrow. And then over in Florida the next day. Okay. Well, mesoscale analysis. Let's check and see if there's anything on that today. I doubt it. Nothing today. Tiny pops to the south. Nothing today though. One last thing. Our one last thing is let's see it load. At least it's loading. Nothing else seemed to want to today. Half the video loaded, I guess. I'll post that cloud building in a different video. Let's see. Come on. It'll load. I have almost had my channel for a year now. Let's see. Roll down a little bit. 102 subscribers. That's all I wanted to see. It says in 14 days I'll have 110. I don't know about that, but that's all I care about right here. 102 subscribers. That's crazy. Well, see you guys next time. Goodbye.